Hello, dear friends. It's me here inviting you to join me today for a very special story. Are you ready? Of course you are. Then let's begin. Welcome, little dreamer, tonight. You'll journey with Tilly and Toto into a magical underwater world where sea creatures glow and dreams come true. Now close your eyes and imagine you're spending a cozy night with your favorite stuffed animal. Your house is nice and quiet. You can hear crickets chirping outside your window. Suddenly, a shooting star streaks across the sky. And make a wish. What could it be? A new toy, an exciting adventure, or maybe a visit from a friendly monster under the bed. Well, whatever you wish for is about to happen because this is no ordinary night. This is a night for dreams. A little while later, an elderly lady named Tilly was tucking her teddy bear named Toto into bed. She had a big smile on her wrinkled face, and her kind eyes twinkled like the stars above. Beside her, Toto wore a blue sailor suit and a matching top hat. He looked dapper indeed. Then Tilly turned off the lamp beside her bed, leaving only a gentle candle flame flickering nearby. As she snuggled under her quilt, Toto rested comfortably between her paws. And before long, the two were fast asleep. But their peaceful slumber didn't last for long. That's because a shooting star had granted their wish. And now their bedroom was floating away, rising higher and higher until it disappeared into the starry sky. Below them, the world was a blurry mess of greens and blues as they soared past trees and rooftops, and the air rushed by them, making their hair and clothes billow out behind them like a rocket ship blasting off to outer space. But suddenly, the room stopped moving. Instead of floating through the air, they were suspended inside a giant glowing bubble that was falling slowly towards the earth. The bubble floated over rivers, mountains, and valleys, until finally it landed softly in a field of tall grass. And what a strange place they had landed in. All around them was a deep, dark ocean full of colorful coral reefs, sparkling fish and playful dolphins. The water shimmered and glowed in the light, and the bubbly hum of the underwater world filled the air. "Oh, Toto," whispered Tilly, her eyes wide with wonder. "Look how beautiful it is down here." Then a pod of friendly dolphins swam up to their bubble and invited them to play. One of the dolphins even rode the bubble all the way to shore. The animals were sleek and graceful as they glided through the water, and their laughter echoed through the waves. Tilly and Toto watched in amazement as the dolphins danced around them. "They're so happy and free," said Toto. "It's almost like they don't have a worry in the world." As if they had heard his words, the dolphins swam closer to the bubble and smiled at the two friends. Tilly and Toto waved back, feeling as though the dolphins could understand their every thought. Then one of the dolphins swam up to the bubble and tapped on it with its nose. "Do you want to join us?" it seemed to ask, and without hesitation, Tilly and Toto nodded. In a flash, the dolphins wrapped their bodies around the bubble, lifting it higher and higher up into the water. The three friends were off on an underwater adventure, swimming through coral arches and over beds of sparkling sand. All around them, tropical fish with scales of sapphire, ruby, and emerald swam in and out of view. Some were small and shy, while others were bold and curious, their bright colors flashing as they darted past. After a while, they came across a wise old sea turtle swimming slowly past them. The turtle had seen many wonders in its lifetime, and its eyes twinkled with age and experience. It swam past Tilly and Toto, its shell gleaming in the light. "Excuse me," called Toto. "Could you tell us where we are?" The turtle turned around and looked at them kindly. "You are in the heart of the Great Barrier Reef," it said slowly. "A place of beauty and wonder." "Thank you," replied Tilly, "but we're in quite a hurry to find the legendary mermaid's garden. Have you heard of it?" The turtle shook its head sadly. "I'm afraid I haven't. But perhaps my friend, the octopus, might know the way, it said, pointing its beak towards a nearby cave. The friends thanked the turtle and swam towards the cave, eager to find the mermaid's garden. Inside, they met an octopus with 8 long tentacles, each adorned with shimmering pearls. The octopus was wise and knew all the secrets of the reef. "I do know where you can find the mermaid's garden," he said, his voice a low rumble. "But the path is not an easy one. You must swim through the jellyfish forest." Tilly and Toto looked at each other nervously. Jellyfish. They had heard stories of their stinging tentacles and glowing bodies that could mesmerize anyone who gazed upon them. "We're not sure we're brave enough," said Toto. The octopus smiled. "Don't worry," he said. "With a little courage, you can do anything." And with that, he pointed them in the direction of the jellyfish forest. Taking a deep breath, Tilly and Toto started towards the forest, determined to find the mermaid's garden. As they swam deeper into the forest, they saw that the jellyfish were even more beautiful than they had imagined. Their bodies were shaped like spheres, bells, or even long flowing streamers. They pulsed with light, creating a mesmerizing display of color and movement. Some were pink and purple, while others glowed a brilliant blue or green. And as they moved, their tentacles rippled like waves on the surface of the ocean. At first, Tilly and Toto were scared, but as they watched the jellyfish drift past them, they realized that they weren't dangerous at all. In fact, they were graceful and serene, floating through the water with ease. As they continued their journey, they saw a beautiful mermaid sitting on a rock nearby. Her tail shimmered in the light, and her hair flowed around her like a waterfall. "Excuse me," said Tilly. "Can you help us?" The mermaid turned around and smiled. "Of course," she said. "What can I do for you?" "We're looking for the mermaid's garden," said Toto. "But we seem to be lost." The mermaid pointed towards a path hidden behind some coral. "That's the way," she said. "But be careful, it's a bit of a maze." With thanks, Tilly and Toto followed the path, excited to see what lay ahead. After a while, they came out into a clearing and gasped in amazement. Before them lay the most beautiful garden they had ever seen. Flowers of every color imaginable swayed in the current, and fish of all shapes and sizes darted among them. The water was warm and clear, and the sun shone brightly overhead. In the center of the garden was a huge clamshell, and on top of it sat a wise old crab. He had been guarding the garden for many years, and his claws clicked together as he watched Tilly and Toto approach. "Who are you?" he asked. "We're friends," said Tilly. "And we'd like to see your garden." The crab considered this for a moment. "Very well," he said finally. "But you must promise to take care of it while I'm gone." Tilly and Toto nodded eagerly and ran off to explore. They saw fish that glittered like jewels, anemones that swayed like dancers, and starfish that clung to rocks like jewels scattered on the seabed. It was the most magical place they had ever visited, and they couldn't wait to see more of it. After a while, they heard a loud crack and turned to see the wise old crab standing beside them. "It's time for you to go," he said. "And I trust you've enjoyed the mermaid's garden?" "It was amazing," said Toto. "Will we ever get to see it again?" The crab smiled. "Of course," he said. "Whenever you dream of it, you'll return." And with that, he snapped his claws together, and Tilly and Toto found themselves back in their bed. The sun was streaming in through the window, and the birds were singing outside. They had had the most wonderful adventure, and they knew they would never forget it. As they got up, they could still feel the magic of the ocean around them, and they couldn't wait to dream of it again. And so our tale comes to an end. Did you enjoy it? Do you have any nice dreams to share with me? Please do. I'd love to hear them. Well, then it's time for me to say goodbye. Thank you for joining me on this wonderful journey today. Remember, you're all very special and I love you all very much. Now go and have a great day. Bye-bye.